presented at the ANA TV Everywhere, specifically addressing mobile. And I talked about Bravo's buzz marketing strategy, which really is at the very core of everything we do, and where mobile plays a very big role. Our strategy starts with the fact that Bravo is an entertainment brand that's all about creating buzz and driving the cultural conversation, and that we have this audience of unique viewers who we call the affluencers, who are incredibly engaged. They're affluent, they're educated, they're influential people, but above all else, they're passionate about technology and they're early adopters. So the meeting of these two things, a brand that's about buzz and about conversation with an audience that's yearning for technology and early adapters, is a wonderful place to create mobile initiatives and do buzz marketing. When we do buzz marketing, we look at four key things. We look at partners to expand our reach beyond Bravo's capabilities. We look at folk who are like-minded. We look at folk who bring innovation and uniqueness with us. We also look at the risk involved with going with a brand new partner, and so as long as they're like-minded and we feel that very comfortable in how we're going to go out with this new partnership, it's always a great experience. And we just had one about a year and a half ago when we were the first entertainment brand to partner with Foursquare. Back in January of 2010, we saw this location-based mobile application with a great gameplay overlay to it, and we thought, wow, that's very much what Bravo's about. We can marry our fabulous content from Top Chef to Rachel Zoe to The Real Housewives and provide our fans another experience outside of the home, taking our content where they can unlock a badge, a fashionista badge, just by going to Rachel Zoe's favorite vintage store. Or they can stop by Top Chef's Harold Dieterle's restaurant Perilla and unlock a Top Chef badge. We're able to provide rewards like discounts at places or special content or sweepstakes, and all of these things are about really engaging people and even further into the brand, and Foursquare has let us do that. They've also been great in terms of buzz. We launched it exclusively with the New York Times, but we were picked up by industry like Mashable and TechCrunch, but also by consumer press like USA Today. So now consumers are hearing about it, and it's becoming a lot bigger. And this partnership was also very social, because once you check in on Foursquare, you also are able to do Facebook and Twitter, and it goes into your timelines, and it just keeps growing exponentially from there. So it's been a really wonderful experience for both us in terms of the engagement with our users, as well, I think, for Foursquare, who's had a wonderful run over the last year, going from 184,000 to, I think they just topped 6 million followers on Foursquare. We also look at how we craft our marketing campaigns. And one of the big things I talk to my team about is think in headlines. Give me the result in a pitch. And a pitch does not go on for 10 minutes. A pitch is a quick synopsis of why you think either the press or your consumer will actually get engaged quickly and excited about what your initiative is. And we work very closely with our PR department to make sure that we are on target that way. And think in headlines can be, again, something traditional, like putting up a billboard outside of a food network that says Top Chef from Bravo is the #1 food network on cable, where bloggers find it and have a little conversation, to what we recently did with Watch What Happens Live New Year's Eve party back in New Year's Eve. We wanted to create some fun social media. We didn't have a lot of money and we didn't have a lot of time. And we thought, hey, what can we do? And we turned to our partner at Foursquare again, and we thought, no, how about see your check into Foursquare and get on TV? And that's what we did. We talked to Foursquare, and we were able to post the check-ins as they happened on New Year's Eve onto the bottom third of the TV screen throughout the New Year's Eve party of Watch What Happens Live. People were so excited about it. We had 1 to 2 check-ins every second for the entire 2 hours. We also had a sweepstakes leading up to it, where if you got the Andy Cohen badge, great badge, you and a friend could actually go to the party. Over the course of the promotion, we had over 350,000 check-ins. So it's not about just gaining followers, which we did for this initiative. It's also about seeing how engaged they are. How many badges did they collect? How many places did they go to find out how they could collect the badges? So it's also, when you think about your results and your return on this initiative versus investment, it's how engaged is every bit as important as how many followers you have, because you don't know the depth of their excitedness or engagement to the brand. I would also say that innovation is always key. And you got to keep it fresh, you got to keep it exciting, and we have early adapters and tech-savvy audience. So that really builds us to a higher expectation level. And making innovation is you can do it in a number of ways. You can do it through a Foursquare partnership, where you're the first to partner on a location-based mobile application. That's a new technology that's just entering the marketplace, and it's been fabulous. But you can also do it off of a new spin off of an old favorite. We did that about 2 years ago. We launched a virtual viewing party, and we call it the Bravo Talk Bubble. And basically, we take the idea of people love to watch TV together, and we took it to a new level. We let people participate while they were watching, so we were driving real-time live viewership, and they could participate through Twitter or Facebook, through their mobile phone, through digital online, and they got to talk to the people in the show. We just did a talk bubble last week for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, where we had more housewives participating. We got all the Beverly Hills housewives participating and chatting about it, and then you got Gretchen from OC, because she wanted to give her 2 cents about what she was seeing. And then you got some New York City housewives going in, because, you know, all our franchises just love each other. But they're all talking, and the experience that the fans were getting by getting to ask questions and share with their friends and have these conversations with the celebrities, or the Bravo celebrities like we call them, is you can't get it anywhere else. And it's really innovating on an old theme. So when we talk about innovation, you can do it new, or you can create new from old. And we're always about figuring out what's fresh and what's going to really resonate with our audience. It's not innovating for innovating's sake, because sometimes you do that and you're like, wow, that just bombed. And usually, if you know your audience and you know your brand, you have a really good filter onto what will work. When we're looking at maintaining innovation and maintaining a freshness to Bravo, we have to risk failure, because there's always going to be opportunities where it feels really good, but we don't know what the outcome's going to be. And if we don't try it and we don't take that chance, you can't have the amazing successes of a Foursquare. Now, I'm not going to talk about them, but we've taken those chances, and we haven't had the amazing successes of Foursquare. We've basically had no success. I will say, you're careful. I'm not going to run off of a cliff, because I can't tarnish the brand. So I am careful, but I'm going to run right to the edge of that cliff, and I'm going to put my toe over the edge, and I can do that because I know the brand, because I know my audience. So if I don't take risks and I don't have some failures, then I won't understand how to get to the successes and make them even stronger. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about was measurement. Measurement's really difficult. As I mentioned earlier, when it comes to Twitter and Facebook and Foursquare and the followers, it's been a race to see how many you can get, and that's still important. But more and more, it's becoming engagement, and how engaged people are with the brand, and how you do that through Twitter, Foursquare, and Facebook. And we're still figuring out the metrics for that. I'm getting measured as a TV network every day through our ratings, through our digital site, through our users and our paid views and our video streams. But for Bravo, where buzz is so important, measurement also comes into the conversation. So I look in and I look and see how many people are talking about us. What are the message boards saying? How are the message boards, what are the Facebook posts doing? How are the tweets happening? How often are we trending? Those kind of things. Those are all measurements to our success. And we also look at how our advertisers are doing when they come to Bravo, when they associate with the brand. We measure engagement, and we use AIG, which is a national survey, who measures engagement. Bravo, in the last year, in 2010, had 10 of the top integrations of any other network. So we know that when we're doing something on Bravo, you can measure that engagement, and you can measure how excited people are to associate with the brand. AIG also measures, hybrid ads and vignettes, and we also know that we have, we're the #1 or #2 brand in terms of recall and likability. Those are all things that we look at beyond just the rating point. Because again, it's not just about how many people, but it's about the quality of the people that you're targeting. And we also talk with PR. We look and see how many articles do we have, and how many times Bravo goes into the pop culture vernacular. When on Saturday Night Live they do a Real Housewives of Saturday Night Live, that's fantastic. That's telling us that we're really a part of what's resonating. When on 30 Rock, Alec Baldwin's character says, "I'm replacing you, Liz Lemon, with Padma Lakshmi," and that absolutely floors her, because what's going to happen to Top Chef? Well, that's pretty good. We're excited. It's a conversation starter. And those are other key measurements that we use. So it's the buzz, it's the hard metrics, and it's the audience themselves and how they are spreading the word about Bravo. It's really hard to measure the social media today, and there are a lot of different companies out there. We use Trender with WiredSet, who really measures the conversation in the social stratosphere, but they also bring in press buzz and things like that, and they give us dashboards. So we are constantly monitoring that. We also work with 360i, our agency, on maintaining a constant vigilance on our Facebook pages and what's the conversation happening. And we'll do things like polls that aren't completely tied to the show, just to gauge how the audience is feeling about our social efforts versus the show. I would say we are constantly looking for new ways to measure this. In the TV landscape, you have the network ratings, you have IAG, you have MRI, you have all those things, and in the social landscape, you just don't have them as much. Radian6 is something that we also look at, and we are working with them to create a more fundamental dashboard for us to see what's going on and what's happening and how we can find the conversations. We have a program called @Bravo, which is all about tweeting, and it's a tweeter tracker. That in and of itself gives us a good idea of what conversation is happening, and we monitor that. I mean, a lot of it is also just good old people at Bravo being media crazy and just looking everywhere to see what's happening. It's old-fashioned detective work. I would like it to be less old-fashioned detective work and have more tools, but you do what you need to do. In terms of the cross-platform buy for Bravo, we actually that is one of our biggest selling points, and it always has been. We have always believed that when you have an audience who's as excited and engaged as we do, that the more touch points you have of reaching them on Bravo, the more engaged and the more loyalty you're going to experience. So what we've seen over the last 4 years, actually, I would say the last 2.5 years specifically, is a much bigger excitement around our digital platforms, both in the mobile as well as the online platforms. So when we create a lot of webisode series, and those have become actual viewing patterns for our audience. So when we have Top Chef on air, you can go and see a Toyota series about where our host would drive to that would inspire her in terms of how she would cook. Or we would do a webisode series for Millionaire Matchmaker for one of our advertisers, which is all about dating, and it would wrap in their advertisers. And those are becoming content because they're not a webisode series just because we have to do something for the advertisers. They're thought out, they're organic to the show, they're organic to what the audience is expecting, and they become real content. And because of that, advertisers have become much more excited by them and want them as part of the entire package between TV, in-show integration, web, and mobile. And I would say, I'm not sure the percentages, but it's pretty high up there on full package sponsorships that Bravo does. So in terms of what the advertisers are expecting, in terms of results, what we can provide them with is the audience that comes to see their digital sponsorships. When they're watching the video, we see how long that they're engaged in the video before, if they even jump out of the video, and all of those things are metrics that we provide to them. We do, depending on the client, we'll do a survey, an online survey to see how engaged they were in whatever the sponsorship was. So there are a lot of different metrics that we use to provide it. And again, we sell it as a whole integrated package, so it's the on-air plus the integration plus the digital plus the mobile, the live voting. How many people voted for live voting? And when they talk about it, do they use the sponsor in the live voting question? Those are all great, amazing ways to tell our sponsors that it's really working. We also, through AIG, which actually does measure this, they can tell you how much more likability or recall you have if you've seen it in show, plus online, plus mobile. And I can tell you right now, you see jumps when you add each of those platforms. I would say their innovation is still to come in the world of video ads. I would say for the most part, they're taking their TV spot and they're putting it onto the web, which I think is normal as a new platform grows. We're seeing some innovation on how they're cross-promoting from the video to the banner, creating actual destinations for the advertisers around the video, and those are really interesting and unique. The housing unit for the video and how they interact. But I think it's still a world of pretty straightforward video in terms of the ads themselves. And I think we're going to see a lot of innovation over the next few months because in digital it's just boom, really quick.